Okay, so today is Tuesday and it's time for another Tuesday hot take. And today's hot take is about the girlies that always get talked to about our tone and how we talk in conversation. Now there is a big conversation about oh, well, if you truly wanted somebody to be you wanted to be understood, you wouldn't speak to people in a certain manner. Like you have to talk to people with respect. And there is balance to that. But this is an epiphany I had just by watching a TikTok. So it's a long video today, but I feel like it was an aha moment for me, so it has to be an aha moment for somebody else. I just saw half of a video by Critical Grace Theory, and wow, this is not an attack. This is just what her approach, how she approached her video made me think of something, okay? And just let me get it out. When we talk about people having conversations, just about any type of power dynamic, people, well, not even power dynamic, any type of conversation, people are always talking about, oh, you don't need to make people feel dumb about asking questions and all that. But people are being disingenuous about that conversation. Okay? Yes, we should all be talked to with grace, especially when you're coming genuinely asking for guidance, questions like you really want to. And even that can sometimes feel antagonistic, but that's not what we're doing. Y'all will be in conversations. Let's take, because this just happened to me, gentrification for an example. You will approach a video or a subject just in conversation that you don't know nothing about. And so when we come at you and say, you don't know this, and this is not an attack. This is us eating you up in the conversation. And now you're trying to flip it and say, oh, you should have came at me and taught me in grace. No, you weren't coming to be taught. You came to antagonize into a conversation you knew didn't know nothing about. You could have just sat back and listened. Okay, clearly you have an interest and yes, you want to participate. But the participating as somebody, as an equal stakeholder as people that do the work or have the knowledge or have the education is completely different. Those are the type of conversations y'all are entering in and then want people to talk to you like you're a kindergartner. No, if you have questions, ask them, but you don't get to participate in the initial conversation, detract and misstate things just because you want to participate. Your participation you need to have good faith participation, which looks like asking questions and being transparent and vulnerable and say, oh, I actually don't know much about this topic, but I am interested in what you're talking about. It doesn't seem like this doesn't make sense to me because of X, Y, and Z. You have to be, and I know that's a lot because we already don't know how to communicate with one another, but we lose the plot so much in so many conversations because we have to stop because bad faith actors are entering the conversation as if they have the knowledge base. And then we have to circle back about hurt feelings when it's not about that. You didn't come in good faith. And not even just good faith. You didn't come in, you have to identify yourself for people to then approach you in that way. Because how would I know? Why would I assume that somebody that is participating in this conversation would not know what we're would not know the basics? When I say boom, 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 would not know the history, would not know the general area that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be wanting, I just don't, yeah. You have to identify yourself as somebody that does not know to be approached in that way. Because if you come at me as if you truly already know this and are coming from a different perspective based on that same information, Yeah, that's a completely different conversation. That's a completely different tone and tenor that you're going to get from the person you're talking to, because it's about knowing your audience. That's the baseline in communication. I don't know my audience because y'all niggas be lying. Like, we be having all these conversations about patriarchy, and you don't have the knowledge base. Like, y'all won't even Google the definitions before y'all start talking. And then your response is, oh, but y'all be talking to people too aggressive. Y'all be... No. And the things that we're talking about are true. Like, real harm is happening to people. People are dying. Like, like, it's like, the stakes are too high for that to always be the conversation. Well, you should have talked. No.